Hi, I'm Josanne Wright Callender, the author of the Happy Little Garbage Truck picture book and educational program. And we're talking today about some of the tools that will help parents and teachers work with a child with autism and learning disabilities with social skills. And social skills are the foundation of everything we do, because all situations are social. Going to work, working with your family, talking with your friends, working with individuals in the neighborhood, being a friend. All of these are social. Well, for us, if social situations can be difficult, and we all know that they can be, and sometimes we have to just call on our inner strength and tool chests to figure out how to work through some of these the tight spots that we get into with our friends and family. Well, what about the child with autism? The child sometimes doesn't have the ability to discern what is actually happening in a situation or to be able to tell what the nuances are of that particular situation. And I say sometimes because I've had children with autism who are all across the spectrum. They're high functioning children, and there are some who have been designated as lower functioning. But in my classroom, I found that every child had a high level of ability in the area of their interest. But pretty much for the most part, a lot of the children that I worked with did have some difficulty with a social skill in one area or another. So that's why I decided to do the series on social stories, and in particular, social autopsies today, because all of these tools help build a child's self-esteem. And when the self-esteem is elevated in a child, they do have the ability to seek out how to do things better. And so we start with that foundation of self esteem. But okay, social autopsies are really important because, say, something happens, there's a mistake, a faux pas, social faux pas. It's a problem. So we need problem solving skills in order to find out just what happened, what can be done the next time to avoid it. It's a learning situation. And what I like about social autopsies is that you take the child in that moment and you work through it with the child. Now, where they're useful for children with higher functioning skills and learning disabilities, the child with learning disabilities, it can also be useful for younger children or children who have cognitive difficulties, because if the parent works through these problems with the right tools, younger children can understand too. And that's why we do social stories with pictures. We're going to talk about video modeling, um, picture cards, rule cards. Some of the things that I've used in my classroom, I've written a list of. There's so many different things, but you can use each one of these tools to problem solve. And if the child doesn't problem solve with you, you can do the problem solving and create your task cards so that the child can practice these situations outside of the social milieu. So first of all, we have to look at who I wanted to talk about first. The person who created social autopsies, Rick Lavoie, was a 30-year veteran of the education administration. And he wrote this book, and it always makes me chuckle, called It's So Much Work to Be Your Friend. And it's subtitled Helping the Child with Learning Disabilities Find Social Success. And that was written in 2005, because he understood that children have a real difficult time interacting with their friends. It's not that they don't want to, it's just that it's hard for them to understand how to. So, with a social autopsy, what you're doing is creating a plan to prevent further faux pas or further problems. So, you first determine who was harmed by the error, decide how to correct the error, and then develop a plan together so that this doesn't happen again. So, tomorrow we will talk about some of the details of this and what can be done after the child has developed the plan with you. And it's mostly just catching the child in that moment, because if you choose, like I said, boarding the bus or coming into the classroom or saying, greeting a person in the morning, and it goes a lot deeper into some other areas. But having that skill already practiced and rehearsed, it's easier for the child to come back with a reply. And I saw that if it takes more than 10 seconds for a response of the child after someone says something to them, the other child loses interest. So it's like speeding up that reaction time as well, by the child being very familiar with the situation and avoiding problem by this problem solving strategy. So, tomorrow we're going to go a little deeper into this social autopsy, and I'll talk about some of the parts of it. And in future talks, we'll go into some of the other strategies, such as the video modeling and the task cards. So, until tomorrow, thank you very much for attending. And I'll put a lot of links in the description box below so you can look at some of the articles that I've been researching as well. Thank you. See you tomorrow. Bye bye.